to space, calling us to fly away. Don't you be afraid, everything will change. You and I, jumping off the edge. They say dreamers never die, so come and fly, come and fly, come and fly away with me. We're rising, we're falling, we're making moves. We're climbing, we're soaring, 1,000 views. We're rising, we're falling, we're making moves. We're climbing, we're soaring, 1,000 views. Come and fly away, come and fly away, come and fly away with me.
Good morning, guys. Hello. I know it's early, guys, and I am so sorry about yesterday. I was feeling really rough, and first time since I started my channel and started going live that I missed a Thursday, and I do apologize. This morning I was watching Smiley Stories, and she was talking about a lady that possibly has spotted Summer in Jonesboro, Arkansas, I believe it was. And she was talking about how law enforcement doesn't want any tips from YouTubers or from the media or anything to do with the media. And it just really makes me mad, because the other day when Check It TV found the items that belonged to Kiely Rodni, and he called and he sat there and he waited for hours waiting on them to come and get the stuff, and they really didn't want to. They in fact told him to begin with, it might be tomorrow before we get out there, because it's really not important. And I spoke with a lady, or I didn't speak with her, but she left a comment, and I can bring that up and show it to you here in a few minutes if need be. But she says there's a child who went missing in her area. A child that is missing, guys. And law enforcement will not release the child's name. I mean, how idiotic is that? If a child is missing, why would you not release the name of the child so everybody can look for this child? I'm just so, what do the law enforcement, I don't plan on being on here long this morning, guys, but how does law enforcement think in this day and time, with all the social media and media period, that's how everybody communicates nowadays? What do they expect? If that woman thought she saw Summer in Jonesboro, Arkansas, what is she supposed to do? Write them a letter and send it to Ronnie Lawson and say, hey, because you didn't want anybody on media, on YouTube, Facebook, whatever, to give you this tip, I needed to write you a letter and send it to you. Come on, that's if the social media platform is used correctly, that's the whole purpose of it, is because you can get the information in real time. So that if somebody sees a missing child over here in this state, they can immediately get it to someone that's going to make a difference. They could, email Hawkins County, TBI, whoever, and that agency can immediately get somebody out there to check and see if this is the child that is missing or not. Do they not understand that? Do they not care? The last time I was upset and angry and was saying something about law enforcement, I was called down by several people. I was in fact told by a person that I needed to lay off law enforcement. Oh, they're doing their job. They're doing this. They're doing that. No, I'm over it. I don't care. I don't care if I have my channel next year because I went off on law enforcement. This is stupid. This is a woman who thinks she saw Summer Wells. in Arkansas at a motel. The child's head is still shaved, the whole kit and caboodle. The other little girl that she is with, from what was said on the Facebook group that Smiley was talking about, the woman says that she spoke with these two little girls, and she knows that the little girl who has her head shaved that's not her dad, because the other little girl said, that's not her daddy, it's my daddy. So who is the little girl with her head shaved that's with this man and woman at Fairfield Motel, I believe it was, Fairfield, in Jonesboro, Arkansas? I mean, Smiley even gives, or the woman gives the name, the street name where this motel is located. Good morning, guys. I'm sorry I'm already going off the deep end, but this has really got me going this morning. How else is law enforcement expecting anybody to get tips to them unless it is through Facebook, Twitter, TikTok, YouTube? I mean, social media is our social platform nowadays. They cannot expect us to write a letter and send it through the mail if you think you see a missing child somewhere. What was Placer County Sheriff's Department thinking when they told Check It TV, oh, sorry, well, that stuff's not really important. We might get out there to get it the next or tomorrow. And then it still took them, after Check It TV got so many people to call in, they finally, 4 hours after he found those items in that lake, they finally sent somebody out there to pick them up. Was it a smart idea to get Ellie to come and pick them up 4 hours after he found them? What do you think they're going to do with them? If they were no more concerned about those items than what they were, you really think they're going to take them back and process them? They're probably going to take them back, sling them in a bag, and put them in an evidence room and never think not another thing about them. What is Rocky Top 64 saying? These missing children cases are not getting the attention they deserve. It's really sad. It is sad. And Rocky, I don't know if you were in here a minute ago. There was a lady left a comment on one of my videos yesterday that said that there was a missing child in her area, and law enforcement refuses to release the name of the child. Is that not just crazy? Good morning, everybody. I really do apologize for going off. But I mean, I'm just trying to figure out what law enforcement actually expects someone to do if they see someone. And I think if writing a dang letter to them, because evidently they don't answer any social media call outs to them. If writing a letter to them is what it's going to take for me to ask them, what do you expect people to do? To write you a letter? They don't take phone calls. They won't answer a phone call. They don't call back and give you any information. Not that we should have any information, but we should at least have the acknowledgement that, yes, somebody has heard what you've said. They heard the tip that you turned in, and this, we're on it, at least. Yeah, that is nuts. How can somebody look for a missing child if they don't even know who they're looking for? Now, I don't know if I don't think she said whether or not they released a picture of the child, but they did not release the child's name and refused to. I don't think they even released the child's age. I'm not sure. Let me check real quick and let me see if I can find it. All right, because I saved it. And there's some other things in here too I was going to check on. I believe this is it. Yeah, this is it. Okay, it says Kim's the one that left it. It says, I'm a new subscriber. This is a good video. I sure hope Kiely's case is being handled properly, even if the friends are innocent. They have acted weird for losing a best friend or their ex. This case just doesn't seem like a normal accident. I'm praying for Kiely and her family. There's a missing teen in my area, been missing for 2 days. Fire department is handling the search and won't let the community help and won't even release her name. Be safe in this crazy world. Everyone, it's not as safe as someone likes to think, sadly. Isn't that horrible? It's a missing teenager. Been gone for, at that point in time, 3 days. And they refuse to give the name. Hello, Miss Mary. I will call you later, hon, I promise. Hello, Loki. How are you? I'm just blown away that nothing more. I believe that was yesterday that Smiley Stories came out with that. I'm looking. Hang on a second. I lost it now. Anyways, you guys can go check it out. It's come out in the last day or two. But on Smiley Stories channel, I think she went live last night, I believe it was. But she's talking about when she was on a Facebook account, there was someone had left a message like 3 minutes before Smiley got in there and was asking how old was Summer now, because she had thought she had seen her with this couple, a man and a woman, at this motel. It was the man, the woman, and another little girl. And the little girl's head was shaved, still buzzed, and whoever the couple was that was with them, the one little girl that wasn't, her hair was still long and everything. She informed this woman, that's not her daddy, that's my daddy. So we know that the little girl who had her head shaved did not belong to the couple, or at least didn't belong to the man. But I can't believe that Hawkins County will refuse to, and they will, you know how they are, will refuse that tip, that information, simply because it's come from YouTube, Facebook, whatever. And then again, and plus it's coming from Smiley. So, hopefully once she gets her application turned in over at Hawkins County and she gets her job, maybe they'll listen to her then. Good morning, May May. I do feel better today, hon. Dawn does have ties to Arkansas. That's right. So does Candace, though. So does Candace. Her friend Cora lives over there, remember? I just think that, whether this woman knows what she's talking about or not, this is the first time anybody has actually set eyes on a small little girl whose head was shaved that looks like Summer. That is, and oddly, they're in a motel and they are in a state that both parents, Dawn and Candace, have connections to. And we know that the man in this couple is not the biological or not the dad of this little girl whose head is shaved. Now, you have all those things put together. Why would Hawkins County not want to hear about it? Why would they not want to go and check it out? Or the TBI for that matter, or the FBI for that matter. I'm furious at law enforcement right now. There's a lot of these cases. Like the woman that texted yesterday and said, there's a missing teen, been missing for 3 days, and they won't even release the teenager's name so that people can look for her or for the public to look for her. The world is a sad place at the moment, and winter's coming. Oh, my days. Yeah. Because they're negligent and slothful. Yes, I agree. I don't care if it's a YouTuber or who calls anything in from another state or the same state that the child is missing from. They should take immediate action. Take it seriously. That's true. That's what I'm complaining about. But they're saying simply because it is social media, they do not want to hear from us. Not the TBI, not Hawkins County, nobody. But in this day and time, social media platforms is how we get the information back and forth to each other. Hi, Sally, honey. You did great on your live yesterday. I'm sorry I left a little early, but my son called in and was letting me know that, you know, the queen has died. Long live the king. I'm sorry. At first of all, I don't know when they changed it from long live the king to God save the king. I don't know why they're praying for God to save the king. What is he in danger of? I always thought all my life it was long live the king. Just running off on a rampant subject, guys. But let's see. I'd call the local law to have them check it out. Well, Smiley did. She called the sheriff's department in the town where the little girl was actually seen, and evidently there was several other people had called, and they were supposedly sending somebody out right then, supposedly sending somebody out there right then to check it. But who knows if they really did or not. I mean, that's the sad part about it, because we are on social platforms. They do not want to hear from us. But I don't know what makes us any different than anybody else. I mean, I don't know anybody else that gets any information any other way. I mean, if they can, I'm sorry to say this, and I don't mean anything by it, but if you can buy and sell products, and you know what I'm talking about, guys, the little ones, if you can buy and sell online, then why can't you send in tips online? Or, you know, just because we're online, we're not allowed to send tips in. I'm sorry, that probably didn't make sense, but it made sense in my head. Because they need to realize YouTubers live in all states, plus their subs live in all states, and they need to start taking YouTubers very seriously. That's true. But YouTubers are showing them up, so took AWP minutes to find Kiely. Ronnie Lawson has had months and still no answer. 100%. They should have called DSS. I am sorry, guys. I know I should be an example, but Ronnie Lawson is a. You're fine, May May. Just sounds like nobody nowadays wants to check out nothing, doing nothing, don't even want to work, or just plainly don't care, in my opinion. That's true. Or like my mom used to say, they don't want to work. My mother would say they wouldn't work in a pie factory if they got every 9 pies. And that's pretty bad. Seems like law enforcement's getting weirder and weirder and weirder. I don't know what the world's going on in this world. It's too much evil, corrupt, in my opinion. 100%. I wouldn't take my eyes off of the child until I seen Ellie with said child. Well, see, that's the thing. Smiley was begging the woman, please go back, make sure, at least see what kind of car these people have in case they leave during the middle of the night. Something. And well, what it was is the woman said that she had family that was also staying in the same motel or in the same vicinity that, was supposedly watching these people. So, Smiley, if you're out there and you know more, please come in here and tell us what's going on if you've heard anything else. Social media could very well be the one that would find them missing persons. Are they crazy or just don't care? That's why you solve cases. The more people know, the more can be looking out for it all. Exactly. And just because you're sitting at a computer, then you become irrelevant, which if everybody on the planet pretty much nowadays has a computer in their hand. That's what I'm saying. I don't get the way they look at this, because everybody is holding a computer in their hand. Everybody is on social media. And if, like I said, if social media is used correctly, that's how it's supposed to be used. Is somebody sees that baby in Jonesboro, Arkansas, social media can be used in real time. They see the child. You get on your phone, you get on your computer, you let Hawkins County, TBI, whoever know immediately in real time. They're supposed to pick up the phone and contact the sheriff's department over there and say, hey, y'all need to go out there and check for us. But Hawkins County evidently doesn't want Summer found, and evidently the TBI has too much on their plate to even be worried about it. I think we need to spin the world the other way just for a while. Well, I think we'd all fall off if we did. Maybe AWP needs to come to the house pond. If they would show up, I don't know if they would show up or not now. They're getting bigger and bigger. Pretty soon they're going to be like all the other big wigs and not give a shit. I am, even if it isn't summer, it could still be a child in need and no trafficking or just being hurt. Right, exactly. That makes a lot of sense. Did you say they called? Yes, Smiley Stories called the local sheriff's department in that town. Yes, she did. Okay, eyes open. You got coffee now? Hello, Tammy Wallace. Hello, everybody that I've not seen or said hello to. Mama Sita. Good morning, Marion M. I'm not ignoring you guys. I'm just fussing this morning. Sheriff Grady Judd should be an example nationwide to what law enforcement should be doing. Exactly. My son was just talking about something he said this morning. There needs to be something done about the law which stops so many from bringing these babies home. I agree. I love Grady too, hun. I know, Tammy, they said they were going to come, but they were, informed that they weren't needed. But why? Why? Let me ask you something. In every other case that they work on, yes, I know they are in contact with the authorities and stuff in whatever case they're working on. But like they said, they don't have to worry about the red tape and the bureaucracy and all that stuff. That's why they can get things done quicker. So why are they worrying so much about the red tape and the bureaucracy and all that shit in Hawkins County? Why don't they come to Hawkins County anyways, even if they're told not to come? I mean, that's the problem here. Everybody, that biker gang. So what? Ronnie Lawson told them not to come. Ronnie Lawson cannot tell people they can't come to a town. He can't. But it seems like everybody's just following or falling at Ronnie Lawson's feet and doing his every bidding that he wants done. And it's ridiculous. Like the guys that found that trunk or whatever it was, a box that was off that bridge when this all began with Summer. And they went to Ronnie and said, "Oh, well, we found this." And he's like, "Okay, well, you're not needed anymore. Go on about your business. We'll take care of it." Why didn't they go back out there when they seen that Ronnie Lawson wasn't doing nothing about it, wasn't sending nobody out there to check on it? Why didn't they go out there and just get the box? Ronnie Lawson does not own that river, that lake, whatever it is. He can't tell people not to be out there. And Ellie wonders why people talk the way they do about them or give them a hard time on the streets, right? Now, I'm not police bashing. I'm not. I've always respected law enforcement. I have tried to. I'm not trying to get anybody to hate on law enforcement. I'm not. But Ronnie Lawson, Hawkins County Police Department, and evidently TBI officers that are working with Hawkins County, and now the Placer Sheriff's Department in California, yeah, I'm sorry to say they're all pieces of crap. I can't even right now. I saw smiley posts and now hear what you have been saying. For fuck's sakes. Grady is amazing. I wish he would come up here for a day or two. It's so sad to think this day will all the technology, manpower, boots on the ground, a child has just vanished. No answers, not a single answer or arrest. I know. It is really sad. It really, really, really is. Probably because they understand their rights and scared of being arrested. What? Why they don't show up? Why would they be arrested? I don't get it, Carrie. Listen, your rights are, if I was to take a group of people or go by myself and I went to Dawn and Candace's property right now, I could walk right up on their property. I cannot be arrested for that. I can't. If you could be arrested for walking up on somebody's property, then every time somebody knocked on somebody's door, they could be arrested. The only thing that can happen is Dawn and Candace can find out and tell me, do not come back. Because I've not done anything illegal. I've not done anything wrong. And if I did it again after they told me not to come back, then that would be considered trespassing. And the only thing the law can do is tell you you have to leave, and then they can cite you into court. That's just the first 2 times that you go on the property. But you're not going to be arrested for going up there and looking. They don't understand the law, you meant? Okay. Sorry, I didn't mean to rant on you, Carrie. Right, if they're told, but law enforcement hasn't told them nothing. How could they tell them? Nobody's ever showed up. Nobody ever came. What, Ronnie Lawson's going to tell them your services are not needed? They show up anyways. They start looking for a baby. Now we're talking about AWP. We're talking about BACA, the biker gang. We're not talking about just one little civilian. We're talking about these are bigger companies. They're going to go to Hawkins County. They're going to start looking for this baby after Ronnie Lawson tells them their services are not needed, right? So what is he going to do when the officers see them out looking for this child? Is he going to arrest them? Put them in jail? Oh, yeah. Okay, let's see that happen. Do you know how much media attention that would bring down on Ronnie Lawson? Of course, that's probably exactly what needs to happen. But getting AWP or BACA or whoever to go up there and actually try to look for this child and willingly get arrested by Ronnie Lawson, that's another story. Shoot, we can't even get them to go up there and look for the baby because Ronnie Lawson says we don't need you. I'm not in a good mood this morning, people. I was sick yesterday, and I guess it's just bled over. So forgive me. I will do my best so not to cuss as much. But y'all gonna have to listen to me rant and rave because I'm totally pissed off about the 4 hours that Check It TV guy had to sit there and wait for law enforcement to come pick up the evidence. Knowing, I know for a fact, I don't know for a fact, I believe in my heart that for a fact, all those cops are going to do once they picked up that computer and that hairbrush and all that stuff was they were going to put it in a bag, take it back to the damn wherever it's at, put it in an evidence locker and leave it. They're never even going to look at it. If they were worried about it or was worried about even checking it out or looking at it, they wouldn't have waited 4 hours. They wouldn't have told him in the first place, oh, we might get out there tomorrow. It's not important. Yes, AWP is more than capable of finding a body. And I forget who it was that it was said. It was even said, as long as it has been and as much deterioration there may be on a little body, they would still be able to find them. Oh, but they won't. Oh, but they will not go dive down for her stuff. Right. I just can't understand why FBI can't use that machine they say can see where bodies, Summer Wells hasn't been found. Right. Well, because everybody's taking Ronnie Lawson's word for it. She ain't in the water. She's not in the water. How he would know is beyond me. She's not in the water, but yet he's not going to take any tips that anybody else gives that she's somewhere else. You need a noisy protest and a good reporter. Yes, better to be pissed off than pissed on. I agree. Ginger Snap, I didn't see that you're in here, but hello, honey, if you're in here. Kathy Glover. Ronnie Lawson has owned that county. Nobody goes against him in fear. He doesn't want no outside investigation in fear of what might be found out. I agree, honey, but that's where it needs to stop. I mean, what are we doing living in the 1920s and 30s? And Ronnie Lawson is the godfather? I mean, as corrupt as he might be and as corrupt as those officers are that work under him, there has got to be somebody on the outside of that county that can go in there and actually get something done or break up the corruption ring. Something. Nana, she's not in the water. It pisses me off. Look up Tom Brown case to see how they did hide his over his case. Tom Brown. Good morning, sweetheart. Nana, Kiely wasn't in the water either. They had searched already. Right. Right. That you're right, May. I'm sorry, I forgot. I can't believe Ellie didn't and still hasn't taken phones, tablets, computers, etc. from any of the folks on 125 Ben Hill, according to both Jody Sue and Andy. Well, you know how it is. Evidently, they just get to go down there and just hang out and in her pajamas, no less, with the feds and just spend the day with them. Good morning, Bard Angel. I thought they said the FBI and local LE looked for evidence after Kiely's car was pulled out, but then the boy found that stuff. Didn't make sense. I've not heard at any point in time that they went back and looked. You call him Ronnie Lawsuit because I know he will be charged with something. No, he ain't never. I mean, yeah, he's in a lawsuit right now over that one guy that his deputies almost beat to death, but how do you think that's going to turn out? Out of Texas, Ellie told his family he ran away and was gay and ran off with his lover and all kinds of stuff. You got to be kidding. Send me that on Messenger, honey, that name. Oh, and guys, I've got to look up some stuff too. The stuff that was on that computer, there was a lady text me information. She says, where's it? Okay, right here. It says, I don't know how accurate it is because the report was very much hearsay. But after Elsa Perrick, whatever her name was, had said on TikTok that she had spoken to Kiely at whatever time it was on here, it says 0030 hour, and offered her a lift, which was refused. She, Elsa, then deleted that post and was reported subsequently as having told LE that Sammy had lied to them. There's no doubt that the timeline between 0025-0040H that Sammy and Elsa put together is impossible given the ping by the lake, and now they've been caught out. I guess they may be turning on one another. That wasn't the one I'm talking about. This one, I can't find it right this second, but it's the ones, it was telling me to look up all the stuff that's on that laptop, that it's all drug and gang related stuff. Anyways, I've got it wrote down somewhere, and I'm gonna take today, now that I feel a little bit better, I'm gonna look it up. Oh, right here it is. It says, look at the stickers on laptop as a general expression of a 16-year-old. And drug related. Kiely was with a crew of, I have an 18-year-old girl, twins. I'm around this age, so just saying, look up RIP, NDIP, art and clothing with drugs, MILF patrol, and dab drug reference. I'm saying this expression shows an interest to move in more adventurous groups, in my opinion. In my honest opinion, actually, is what she said. Oh, and I do have something else to complain about. I was watching Plunder this morning, too. And how I would put on the video yesterday about, where was Kiely at? She was evidently out all day long the day that she went missing. She was out running the roads with Katie and cooking or whatever, hanging out with her. And at some point she got with Mags, and then Mags talked her into just going to that party. And so she texted her mom or called her mom, well, I want to go to this party instead of going to a car show with you. And okay. And then whatever it was that Plunder was saying, I forget exactly, but basically it sounds to me like that Kiely just ran her own life. She didn't ask permission to do crap from her mom. She would literally just call her mom up and say, this is what's going on. And I just find that really strange. What 16-year-old, yes, you have to fight with them. Yes, they are bullheaded. Yes, they buck at every turn. But what 16-year-old is allowed to just go and just do as they please and do whatever, go wherever they want to? Not at any point in time do you hear the words Kiely saying, Mom, can I go to this party? Never do you hear her mother arguing with her about going to that party. She says she texted her mom and told her she was going to that party instead of going to the car show. Now, as far as I can understand, she never saw her mom from the time she got up that morning. She never saw her mom again for the rest of the day. The Final Destination has a great live on the huge fentanyl problem in Placer County. It's definitely worth a look. I run across that name just this morning or last night one, and I thought about checking that out. Stitching, I will do my best. We'll see if we can't get on that, okay? And I'll try to do a video on all those people. Some parents do try to act like their kids as friends. And I mean, I was sort of the same way, but I was also a parent when I needed to be a parent. Now, let me tell you the story real quick. When my daughter was very young, way too young to be going to any kind of party, she was supposedly going to spend the night with this friend of hers. The girl I knew, she went to school with, it was a good girl, so I thought. She asked if she could go to spend the night with her, told me where she lived, which was probably about 25 miles from the place where she actually wound up going. But she gave me directions to the girl's house and everything, right? Because out here, it's not like you can just run down the road and, see where somebody lives. So she told me where the girl lived. I was like, okay. I let her go. She hadn't been gone more than an hour. And I was like, nope. Something's not right here. Now, you have to understand, she told me that the girl lived in Hartford. When I said, nope, I told my husband, I got to go find her. Something's not right. My brain told me to go to Grassy Forks. And Grassy Forks is where I went. And it took us about an hour to find the house where she was at. And like I said, it was like 25 miles from the place she was actually supposed to be. But my mother's intuition, literally, I promise you, took me to the very house where this huge teenage party was going on. And they were drinking gator juice. And I don't know if y'all know what gator juice is or not. It's basically Kool-Aid and PGA and stuff mixed up. My child, by the time I got there, I walked in. It was a 2-story house. I walked in that house, And people started scattering and started yelling to my daughter, "Your mama's here." I went up that upstairs and I grabbed my daughter and I drug her out of that house. And she was drunk. My first reaction is, and this is what I taught my husband, normally did what I said to do when it came to my children, because these were my kids, not his. Take me to the police station right now. I took her butt to the sheriff's department and I said, I want her locked up. Lock her up now. And just because the cop that I spoke with had went to school with one of my nephews, he's like, "Myra, I can't do that." I was like, "Oh yeah, you can." He's like, "No," and he took and asked my daughter. My daughter cussing up one side down the other, F-bomb like crazy, kicking his cruiser, kicking it. He asked her a couple of questions. He said she's okay. I can't lock her up. So I took her to the hospital. I tried to get them to pump her stomach. And because she could tell them who the president was and what the date was and what her name was, they wouldn't do anything. That's the kind of parent I am. We end up having to take her home and just deal with her. But no, you don't. You've got to be a parent first and a friend later. I'm sorry, I'm getting off on tangents. But you not everybody is the same, and I understand that. Not everybody's parenting skills are the same. And not everybody has intuition like everybody else. But I'm telling you, when my kids were in trouble, when my kids were where they weren't supposed to be, when my kids were having problems, I knew about it. And I could get to my children just off of a feeling. I, at times, was fortunate that my kids' friends wanted to hang out at my house, and because I let them do wrong because they liked my food. That was me. Most of the time the kids were at my house because I was taught by my mother I would rather have them with me than out here and me not knowing what's going on with them, me not knowing what's happening with them. As long as they can be at my house with their friends and act up and act like teenagers, all the better. It's just a rant session this morning, guys. I don't have any new information except the part about Smiley and what she learned off Facebook. You know Tom's mom, and I know Molly Miller's aunt. Okay, then you can give me more information on that. You found out years later. Oh, honey, let me tell you something. My daughter was she was the only daughter I had that was my biological child. She's the only daughter I had out of 4 kids. And let me tell you something. My daughter I found out later on that when she was, I think they were 12 at the time, her and what wound up being my daughter-in-law later on, and another friend of theirs had all went. Now you have to understand, my daughter-in-law's mother was the softball coach for the softball team at school. You would think somebody like that your child would be safe with. I allowed my daughter to go spend the night at their house. They were all on the softball team. Their mom was the softball team coach. I found out later on that these 3 girls, because the mom had to take a tranquilizer to sleep at night, so her daughter went in and stole her keys at 12 years old and was backing the car out of the driveway and they ran it in a ditch. Thank God they didn't go anywhere because they ran the car in the ditch. But how scary is that to think that your 12-year-old daughter is getting up and sneaking out of somebody's from then on, my child didn't go and spend the night with somebody. No, 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 no. They all came to my house. There was plenty of times I had like 13, 14 kids spending the night in my house. Well, half of them were mine, but still. My mom would roll over dead if she knew half of the stuff I did. Oh yeah, I agree. There was a picture surfaced years. I mean, like after they had their own kids. Actually, probably about 5 years ago, I seen it. That when my one son was young, 15, 16 years old, there's a picture of him hanging off the back of a Bronco as it goes down the road. Hanging onto the back window and with his feet on the bumper. And they're taking a picture of him as they're going down the road. And trust me, I see this whole place is just all the people that my kids grew up with and went to school with and got in trouble with. And as adults, they come and they're still telling on my kids. A girl at my son's school in 5th grade gave him, oh, wow, and pills. And when I went to the school, they said they would have to get my son for possession because he took them from her when she offered them. You've got to be kidding. Oh, well, I can say that much for this school here. It's not like this. My daughter got in a fight at the bus stop one day, and honey, found out it don't matter whether they're in school, out of school. If they have any connection with another student, the school is allowed to step in and deal with the situation. It's all considered just like if they were sitting at the school and got into a fight. And it's both of them. They don't just get one, they get both. My niece had a cell phone at 4. She's 5 now, and I got a bunch of Snapchats at 4 a.m. thinking it was just delayed messaging. Nope. Turns out she stays up while the adults are sleeping on the cell phone tablet. Oh, Lord. My youngest granddaughter has a phone and a tablet and anything else. But let me tell you something. She knows better than that crap. Watching TV unsupervised, I lost my shit. And her mom was like, well, she knows not to do it. And now she's has a damn TikTok account. Yep. No, my son and son-in-law has everything set up where it's kitty stuff, and even some of the kitty stuff is blocked because of. Have y'all seen some of the kitty stuff? Oh, well, let me tell you guys something. I'm not going to be on here much longer, but let me tell you guys something. I went to look for Squaw Tit's page the other day, right? Because I was looking for a specific video to send somebody else that was asking me about it. Try typing in her name. You'll get like the first 2 or 3 videos are okay. Not her videos. But if you type in her name, like the first and second one will be her videos. And then, it goes on to other related things that you've typed in, right? Don't look at the 4th or 5th one. I forget which one it is. Don't look at it. I reported the stupid thing. They didn't take it down. It is literally, I am not joking. Let's say a woman laid down, centerfold. Yeah. Literally zoomed right in. You could see the dark hole. You could see everything hanging down, if you know what I'm talking about. I mean, right there on YouTube. Right there. I could not believe it. Just from typing in Squaw Tit's name. Ain't that some crap? Like I said, guys, it's just a bitch session this morning. I'm sorry if you all don't feel like hearing it. But I'm mad. I'm mad at these stupid law enforcement officers. Law enforcement, period. Not just the officers, but why, if if they can see that everybody, and it's not just people on true crime. So that's another bitch I've got. How do they know that we're in the true crime genre? Couldn't it just be a, a singer or a comedian out here or just a Christian group? As soon as they say YouTuber and hey, I've seen a missing kid, what are they going to do? Hang up on them? Thank you, Mary. I appreciate that, hon. I can't believe that I missed yesterday, but I wasn't feeling good. My legs were cramping really bad, and I just, for some reason, I just couldn't do it. I was so upset and so distraught yesterday, and I know y'all aren't going to understand it, and I really did try to. I thought I canceled the live. I really thought I did. Evidently, it didn't work. Ellie does need to protect and serve others, do their job. Thank you, May May. I appreciate it, sweetheart. Kids use Snapchat to order drugs. I haven't ever heard that. Not saying it's not true. Thank you, May May. I appreciate it, hon. I really do. Well, what I did was went into StreamYard and I canceled it there, and but I didn't think about it and I didn't cancel it on YouTube. I was thinking because it hadn't happened yet that it would cancel it in both places, but I don't guess so. It's sad that social media made it that way because we all strive to do right by Little Summer and seem to get slapped in the face by LE. Yep. My now 19-year-old showed me a Snapchat of a kid he was in football with. And not only was there drugs on this kid's story, here were huge gun. No, 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 no. Them, yeah, I think it's called. Yeah, it is. I did make May May a mod, right? I was meaning to ask that the other day and I kept forgetting to do it. Yeah, tell me somebody if you can. Why would law enforcement allow Sammy to get up there and make that speech and not stop her? Y'all come to me, you don't come to the law. If one of us went outside and witnessed an accident and went public on a microphone with media coverage and stuff, and we said, oh, no, don't go to the law about that, you come to us, what do you think would happen? I can't believe they didn't say anything to her. I can't believe somebody, just a regular citizen that was standing there, didn't say something to her. Right. No, honey, I've not seen Charlie, but I will try to get a hold of him. If When you call me after a while, or I call you, remind me and I'll give him a call and see if we can't get a hold of him. Right, she was laughing right in front of the police. And I don't know if any of y'all seen the video I put out last night, but I could not believe that in California, and somebody's trying to tell me, no, that's not true. I'm telling you, I looked it up. Anybody that is over the age of 18 that gives a minor any alcoholic beverage, they can get fined $1,000 and get however many community service hours for just giving a minor alcohol. But if you give a minor alcohol and any bodily injury or death that results from that, all they get is $1,000 fine and between 6 months to a year in jail. That's it. Well, but the thing is, they didn't need to get her a criminal defense attorney. Come on, less than a year that's nothing. And with her admitting to everything, there's no way that she can get out of it. I mean, but she ain't gonna get no time over it anyways. Well, thank you, Linda. She says, I'm enjoying everything you're saying, and I totally agree with you. You're so right. Well, thank you. Me, that was me. I put it on a video yesterday. She would get, okay, put it this way. You can get $1,000 fine and between 6 months and a year, but you can't get no more than a year for it. With the way that they're acting towards her, you really think she's even going to get to 6 months? That's why I said 6 months. Yeah, it was me, sweetheart. Right, the police let her just take up. That's got to tell you something right there about what kind of police department it is. The police let her take over to let her put her foot in her mouth, which she did, and soon will be out. Yeah, but how many of those stories did they not get from those kids? OMG, that's sick with that picture. These children should be found. What is wrong? It's law enforcement ain't doing their job. It's like they don't care anymore. Just maybe I watch in true crime cases. I was watching a thing this morning. It's the Murdoch podcast. Murdoch Murder Podcast. And they were doing a story on this little girl from South Carolina that she was at a party, and needless to say, she went missing. They went out looking for her, run up on this she was a popular girl, but then there was this popular boy, and he was standing up and pulling up his pants. You know what I mean? She was bloody, chuck marks, bad. I mean, just beat up bad. And they took her to the hospital, and the nurse that was in charge of running an ARC kit on her, it's called a SANE nurse, I guess, was telling her that it wouldn't do her any good, that she need not even file any charges or report it. And this girl, evidently, her throat was covered in bruises where he, held his hands against her throat. How would Evil Exist know that? Says Evil Exist said Kiely had broken blood vessels in her eyes. Signs of, yeah. I'm not sure what we are and are not allowed to say on here. So, yeah, I know. I seen that. They were using Venmo to accept payment for alcohol. But it says in that thing that I put the video out on, whether you're giving it to a minor or selling it to them, it's the same charge. even if it results in the worst case. It's like they've given up on Summer, like she's dropped off the face of the earth, right? Good morning, Stay Tiger. How are you this morning? Brilliant job as always. One question I have: how is it even possible for the tow truck driver, Nate, possibly identified? No, the tow truck driver's name was Nick. Anyway, possibly identified Jagger, but not Kiely when he claims to have dash footage. He didn't look at the dash footage. He never looked at it. And he did not identify Jagger. They said they did, it was a positive ID, but he didn't say that it was Jagger. But he never looked at the dash cam footage. He left it alone, whatever. And I'm assuming it goes back to a computer at the office. When he found out that Kiely was missing, he remembered talking to him and seeing him or whatever. He went and told his boss or the owner or whoever it was. And from that moment, the owner of the company shut the film down. They locked it up. Nobody was allowed to see it until it was turned over to law enforcement. Nobody ever saw the footage except law enforcement, from my understanding. They said positive ID. Yeah, it was I'm sure it was a positive ID, but they didn't say it was a positive ID to Jagger. If you guys will look at those pictures, there's 3 or 4 kids that look like Jagger. Meaning, what they mean is there's a positive ID, meaning that evidently law enforcement looked at the picture and say you had a picture of one of those other guys, not Jagger, and you run facial recognition on them, and it told you their name, address, blah, blah, blah. That would be a positive ID of the guy in the film. It doesn't mean it's a positive ID to Jagger. It just means they have identified the guy. Thank you, Linda. Appreciate that. Just love this channel. Well, guys, we're growing still steadily. I mean, and I've heard, do it slow and steady, and people will stick around. But we're almost up to 4,000 subscribers, so. And whether I'm right or whether I'm wrong, I know some people don't like the Cash App thingy. And let me explain something. Through YouTube and PayPal and that Google Wallet, they all take a percentage of money that's given. Even the super chats, super thanks, or whatever. YouTube takes a percentage of that money. That's why most people use Cash App. It's because Cash App does not take a percentage of the money. But whether people agree with it or whether people don't, I did put, it's a little our information button that's in the top right corner of my videos and stuff now. And if you click on it, it brings down a tip jar. And it is PayPal, but YouTube don't work with Cash App. So I have a tip jar now. I can live with tips. I don't like e-begging, but I can live with tips. So only because I was a waitress for most of my life. So tips to me, didn't it seem weird that it was her car, but yet the car wouldn't start because in neutral. That's why the pizza 911 call comes into my mind when I think about that. Whoever it was maybe wanted to get him close so that, they could ask for help. But evidently it didn't work because, all he done was stop down the road and called his girlfriend and said, "Hey, you ought to have checked out these weirdos I just dealt with." Woohoo! No, oh, the 4,000 subs. Yeah, we're close to 4,000. Hang on one second. 3,921, guys. Thank you, Stitchin'. I still think it was her. She was trying to get help. He just didn't get it. That's what I'm saying. It didn't do no good. If that's what was going on, it didn't do no good because he just stopped down the road and called his girlfriend and was talking about the weirdos he just had to deal with. Hello, G. Says, hello, Nana's Angels. I'm from Australia. All been watching your channel for a little while. First time connecting tonight or commenting tonight. Well, you should have commented before, honey. I hope you know that you're more than welcome to holler and say, hey, give me a link. I want to come up and say something. All of you are welcome to do that. I hope you know that. Now you get it. It's a tip jar. Yeah, to me, I feel I don't like when Remain Calm and Nano for Life was trying to tell y'all I was needing help. To me, I'm was raised in a very prideful family. We don't do that. We don't ask for help. And if we do ask for help, it's only literally like right in the immediate family. So I don't ask for help. But I've worked as a waitress long enough that if you do a good job, people can leave you a tip. And that's not, to me, that's not a bad thing. That's saying, hey, you did a good job. Here you go. To tips to ensure proper service. And I'm hoping that the fact that we don't have drama and we don't have cussing and we don't have, half the things that you find all over YouTube on here, that is proper service for you guys. The reason I believe Sammy retained law is the positive ID on the male who, in my opinion, possibly wasn't Jagger, but Sammy's boyfriend. Right, exactly. Or like I said in that one video, which can y'all believe that video is blowing up the way it is? Guys, it's at, hang on a second. It's only been a little over 24 hours. And it is at 17,000 views. That 6-minute video. And all it is talking about is the fact that her mom, seemed to me, that's the way I read it, her mom knew something was up. That and the fact that I believe Sammy hired a lawyer because she's the weakest link and she's going to roll on anybody else that was involved. And if you'll think about it, she says during that one interview with American whatever that there was some other kids in the car with her and Kiely while they were charging their phone and while Kiely was texting her mom and while Sammy was asking Kiely for a ride home. Okay, well, how many other kids were in the car? I would like to know that. But then if you'll go back, you'll see during that same interview with American whatever, she's telling him about the teen meetups. The teen to teen meetups. And she says there's going to be 6 or 7 people gathering the information because they want to keep it tight knit. They want to keep it in a small circle and keep the information, quiet. Well, could those 6 or 7, if you think about it, that's her and Mags. Mags was talking about it too. She was right in there collecting information with Sammy. So there's her, Mags, Jagger, Kate, Mags's boyfriend, and I guess Sammy's boyfriend. How many people is that? Do you think maybe those are the specific people and they are all involved? And maybe Sammy is rolling on the rest of them. Maybe her mother is a smart lawyer and told her, give it up or you're going to get it all. I say all the time, if you need anything, just holler and you won't. So as long as you know I'm here for you, that means a lot because you're my friend and I love you. I love you too, Mary. And honey, like I said, we talked about this the other day. I think it was you that I spoke with about this when I was trying to explain. No, it may have been Lana I was fussing at. We just don't do that. We don't ask for help. I give my Cash App out because I don't have my monetary value since I'm only at like 20. Right. Well, the thing about it is I forget who it was, some off the wall dude that has a channel, and he's got like I don't know how many people he's got subs, but he was like, I don't want y'all. Oh, he was complaining about AWP and how much money they earn. Um, but he was like, all these YouTubers, they all earn way more money than what y'all think they do. Da 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 da. No, no, we don't. I didn't even get. I got $450 coming on my check this time for all the month of August. We do not earn that much money. Um, did Sammy get a lawyer or an attorney? Stay Tiger. Lawyer and attorney, they are synonyms, honey. They mean exactly the same thing. It's just like people in the South more than likely say lawyer, people in the North say attorney. Same thing. Anyways, I heard the words criminal defense attorney used, but I can't remember by whom. If so, then it's not simply seeking legal advice or papers explained act. Um, Sammy herself posted that she has hired a criminal defense attorney. But just so you know, lawyer and attorney mean the same exact thing. The only way I would get an attorney, period, is if I knew I did wrong or had guilty. No, 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 Mary. You need to know. I mean, I don't know if I put that on the video or if I was talking to somebody, but no, she's smart to get an attorney. Even if she is innocent, she's smart to get an attorney. If you spit on the sidewalk and a cop sees you and he takes you into the police department, never, ever, ever open your mouth. Do not admit to spitting on the sidewalk. I don't care what they tell you. You always, always ask for an attorney to be present. They will tell you that makes you look guilty, but it really don't. Hang on one second, guys. I don't know who this is. Hang on. Sorry, guys, that was the wrong number. They were explaining to me how they had left a van at their sister's house for me to pick up, and I'm like, what? Do you know who you're talking to? It was wrong number. I've had enough of Queen, LOL. People are saying she died months ago now. Ugh. She did die yesterday. The Queen is dead. Long live the King. But let me tell you something. I don't care if the Queen did request for everybody to call that floozy the Queen consort. No, the Queen will never be put in front of that woman's name as far as I'm concerned. Princess Diana would have been the only queen that would have took Queen Elizabeth's place. No, you have to get it. Oh yeah, that's what I was saying. Thank you, Dazed and Confused. No matter what, guys, no matter why you walk into a police station, if anybody ever wants to talk to you, whether you're guilty or innocent, you do not open your mouth until you request an attorney. Because even if they try to make you out, say, oh, well, if you ask for an attorney, it makes you look guilty. No, it does not. And it doesn't matter if it makes you look guilty. They're just trying to get you to talk to them without an attorney, because then as soon as you put something down on paper about what you said, they can take and turn it around to make it sound like anything they want it to say. You always get an attorney, no matter what. You never talk to the law without an attorney. It's the Queen has died, and she became that at the age of like 20. She was 25. It was 1952. 24. Could you imagine the life she had? Well, she actually, I think it was the age of 10 is when her uncle died. Her dad became George became the king, and her life changed right then. That's when she had to start doing all the special schooling and stuff, and she was only 10 years old. Her little sister at that point in time, her little sister told her, I'm sorry for you. Geez, you can subscribe and watch Nana's Angels previous videos. Sammy was Kylie's friend, then wasn't. It's complicated, but all answers are in the videos. Actually, I'm not trying to say you're wrong, May, but from everything I understand, Sammy was never Kylie's friend. They never knew each other. They didn't even go to the same school. Sammy has lied about that completely. Maybe Mags and Sammy were friends, and Mags and Kiely were friends. But Sammy and Kiely were not friends. They did not hang out. They knew some of the same people. And from what I can understand, Sammy was in love with Jagger. And there's a connection that way too. Camilla Parker Bowles is a home record. My heart belongs to Princess Diana. Exactly. 100%. And I don't like Camilla, will never like Camilla. The word queen will never go in front of her name. But then again, if you think about it, I think she was done crappy because her and Charles had been in love way before he met Diana. But Camilla was too ugly and didn't have the right standing in the eyes of the queen. That's why he wasn't allowed to be with Camilla. That's why he had to go and find Lady Diana and marry her, was because she actually held a title. Right, Summer case in this case turned into a big rabbit's hole house instead of a hole, because they be a lot of rabbits. Yeah. Right, they only knew each other from other friends. And Sammy talks about being pissed at Kiely because Kiely was with Jagger, and Jagger was her Like, I got probably her first love, but that now they are supposedly best friends. But then in the same sentence or the same paragraph, she tells Jagger that he's not good enough for Kiely. You were trying to fit it in. Oh, yeah. I don't know why Jagger keeps on insisting they were boyfriend girlfriend when they were ex, but I heard through the grapevine she was positively prego. How did Kylie's friend forget whether or not she gave Kiely that Lana Del Rey hoodie? Seems like sentimental event to forget buying merchandise with a friend. Well, I don't think she gave it to her. I mean, Kylie's mom plainly gets on the news and states that it actually belonged to her friend. It wasn't given to her. I mean, she may have loaned it to her, but not given to her, like to keep. Tammy Wallace. Well, if she was the drinking and drugging, wouldn't have been a good thing. Right. I've said from the start, guys, I don't think that it was a wrong turn. I don't think she was drinking and driving. I think somebody was taking advantage of her in the back of the car, whether it be one guy or many guys. I think that could have been what all those kids were looking at in that picture where everybody was trying to say it was her car going down in the water and that's what they were looking at. No, I think they might have been looking in that direction because they were hearing a scream. I think that whoever was causing her to scream did something to shut her up, whether it be pick up something and hit her with it, whether it be use the seatbelt to wrap around to shut her up. I think it went farther than what they wanted it to. I think they just wanted to shut her up and it didn't happen. They did more. And that's when everybody panicked and everybody left. And although I think that Nick thinks he knows what he's talking about, the service driver thinks he knows what he's talking about, I think that car was pushed right down in there. I think she may have been, the seatbelt may have been wrapped around her throat to shut her up from the screaming. And like I said, it went too far and they just left it, slammed the hatchback shut, drove the car over to the lake and let it roll in. And when all that was happening, that's when everybody took off. Oh, okay. Thank you again for clarifying and for answering all my questions, Miss Nana. You're very knowledgeable, and I always enjoy listening to you. Well, thank you, Stay Tiger. And I don't know if I answered any questions correctly, but I answer them to the best of my knowledge. And trust me, 9 times out of 10, I will not say something if I can't prove it. No, the party didn't end at 12:30. I mean, it technically did because at 12:30, everybody jumped in their cars and started leaving because something happened. They're trying to figure out what happened that would cause everybody to leave. Nana, have you already spoke about the world's daughter, Precious Sweet Summer? Honey, we've just been bouncing back and forth. It's just, I was on a rant this morning. I did speak on the fact that Smiley Stories did a video last night, or a live last night, where she talks about, she was on a Facebook somewhere. A woman got on there and had asked what age was Summer now, what age would she be now, because in Jonesboro, Arkansas, she thought she saw Summer with this man and woman that was staying at a motel where some of her family was staying. And they had two little girls with them. One of them looked like Summer, including the shaved head. The man that was in the picture, or at the motel, she spoke to the little girls, and the one little girl that still had long hair made a statement that that was not the other little girl's dad, that it was her dad. So we know the little girl was a shaved head. That wasn't her daddy. So, and Smiley Stories did call the local law enforcement there. She did beg and beg and beg for them to please go right then and check it out. And they said they had received other phone calls from YouTubers concerning that also, and that they were going to check. She also called and reported it to the TBI. No, everybody keeps saying that she drove herself into the lake. I don't believe that. I don't think that she was the kind that would do that because she was preggo either. In my opinion, I don't. Now, I do believe that she would have been the kind that would, if more than one person, or one person took advantage of her, took something that she wasn't willing to give, run a train, that kind of thing, I think she would have the person that she would have been so humiliated, possibly, that she would have done that. But they found her in the hatchback. And I don't care what anybody says. Use logic. Okay, first of all, they thought that the car went in hood first, front end first, and flipped up and then flipped over, which would have carried an air bubble up to the hatchback of the car as it was flipping, which would have made sense. If she was in there, she would have tried to get to the air bubble. She would have went to the back. Okay. But the car didn't go in like that. The car went in the water, and the passenger side started filling up first because that window was down, and it literally just flipped over. Sideways, it flipped over. It did not, the front of the car was pointing out towards the open part of the water, not towards the bank. So therefore, there would have been no air bubble in the hatchback of that car. She would not have tried to get to the back of that car. Now, let's say that she was already passed away when she got in there, or she passed afterwards. You float to the top. If she's already in there, you float to the top. You're going to float to the where you put your butt in the seats. And if you do that, there's no way her body could have floated to the back, because the backs of the seats would have stopped it. The only way she could have been in the back of that car was if she was put there. You don't think she was pregnant, Mary? Okay, Sally, you have a great day, sweetheart, and I'll talk to you after a while. Give me a call after a while. I need to give you some information about something, and I've been meaning to do it, but just call me after a while, Sally. It's about your videos, but the window was down all the way. I know the window was down all the way, which would have made the car fill up faster. But it still filled up from the passenger side. The water started coming in because the hood part was down in the water first. It still would have filled up, catty-cornered. There would not have been an air bubble in the hatchback of that car. And if she was trying to escape and get to the air, she would have went out the driver's side back window. it was also down. She wouldn't have went straight to the back. In my opinion, I mean, but I try to use logic. I don't know if that always works, but I try to use logic. I I hope she's still alive. Gee, I really do. And of course, we all pray for her brothers. It makes me sick to my stomach too, hon. Would you like to come up, Dazed? We only got like 25 more minutes, but would you like to come up on panel? She wouldn't. She wouldn't have gone to the back with all the windows the way they were, in my opinion. That's my opinion too. But if she were alert, I believe she would have gotten out that window, but think someone she went out that window. You think someone else went out that window. Could have been Miss Sammy drove it. Could have been she was passed out in the back or harmed, not breathing in the hatchback, and Sammy could have drove that car down in there. And I'm not trying to blame a kid. I'm just saying, Sammy is. I was all over it when it first happened, and the first person I heard, the first YouTuber, it was Sammy this and Sammy that and Sammy. And I was madder than shit. How can you be blaming that kid? She's a kid. She was her friend, blah, blah, blah. The more I got to watching it, oh my Jesus. No way. There's something up with that girl. Gee, that would be a blessing. And also knowing she'd be treated like a princess by a great family. Let me tell you something. If Summer Moon Utah Wells was to pop up right now, I honestly and truly believe that wherever she wound up living, they'd probably have to have a court hearing over that, meaning so many people would be requesting her and fighting for custody of her. But if Summer was to pop up now and she was alive and all this, I honestly, truly believe that child would never want for anything again the rest of her life. There are so many people invested in that child's life and her well-being. I cannot imagine that child ever wanting or needing anything that somebody wouldn't be willing to give it or hand it to her. I guarantee you at the age, if she was to pop up right now, by the age of 10, she'd probably have 2 or 3 cars bought for her. Probably a house too. I can tell you right now, I bet you I know exactly who would wind up with her if she was to turn up. And she couldn't go back with her parents, which we all know she couldn't, but just putting that out there. I guarantee you, more than likely, Ryan Upchurch would probably, his mom or him one would apply for custody and they'd probably get it, which would be fine with me. Sammy's just another attention whore, like some in Summer Wells' case. Yep. Yeah, it would be amazing. Some that say they would take Summer, I wouldn't give a dog to. I agree. I agree, hun. I'm just saying That's why I said it would probably wind up going to court over that. Trying to just because there would be so many people fighting for her. Yeah, she would never want for anything. Hello, Nanny of two boys. Days, did you ever say you would come up? You don't have to. I'm just asking if you wanted to. Oh, what a life she would have. Mama Church, yep. You don't think Ryan would ask for Summer? I don't know. He might, if for nothing else, for his mom. I'm just dreaming here, guys, because we all know that more than likely she's in the arms of the angels right now. But it would definitely be nice if Ryan Upchurch, if she came back, if Ryan or his mom one would take her. At least we would know she'd still be raised in, well, no, technically he don't live in the Smoky Mountains, but at least she'd still be raised in Tennessee. Please help the children in your area. There is so much you can do and doesn't take money. Right? That is if you can fight bureaucracy, fight the law. I think the FBI could take over Summer Wells' case. They should. Exactly, that's what I'm saying. Ryan takes good care of his mama and his little sister. He does. Mm. Sorry, guys. I was clicking on something else looking and got stuck. Couldn't get back. All right, we got about 15 more minutes, guys. Does anybody want to jump up here and have anything to say? I had my rant for this morning. If you don't, it's okay. But if you do, I'm going to put the link down. We don't know how Summer would be when she come back. If mistreated, she would need the best of care. Exactly, and that's what I'm saying. She would need somebody who had the money, the wherewithal, I mean unlimited, to provide for her. Make sure that she had the right care. And then again, she could just need more love than anything else. FBI should, I don't know why they don't, something very strange about that to me. Hit the LE has me wondering lately more than ever. Oh, you have bedhead? Remain calm, great point. When Summer is found or when this story is told, we need to remember that Summer wants us to stop the madness. She wants to save all missing children, in my opinion. Love y'all. Well, we love you too, Karen. And I agree with y'all 100%. Oh, and let me ask y'all something. Can I ask a personal thing here? When I say Kiely Rodni, what do y'all hear? When I say her first name, what do you guys hear me say? Spell it out and put it in chat for me, please. I got a few horrible comments yesterday over that. saying I was disrespecting her. Hello? Is any my chat must be froze up, or y'all stopped talking one. Sounded normal with a little accent, yeah. Well, I was being told that I was calling her Callie and Cat and something else, and that it was rude. That I was disrespecting her. Callie sounds right to me. Sounds like should check out the commenters a little. We know you respect everyone. Well, thank you. Okay, that's fine. Come on up, bitchin'. Bitchin'. Come up, Stitchin'. Sorry. Kylie, you are saying her name right. Well, see, and that's what I text back to that person too. Was listen, folks, I have a granddaughter with that name. I know how to pronounce that name. And it actually has all the same letters in it as the Kylie Rodney name. But my granddaughter's name is spelt. This is how my granddaughter's name is spelt. So, I mean, I know how to say her name. Tell them to FO. Okay, I will. I did. Trust me, I've gotten into the habit, and you guys know I respect everybody's opinion of what they say, but there's been a few that I have literally just went and blocked them and then removed their comment. Right, I understand, Karen. What about Gabby? How do you spell it? Her name is the Kylie Rodney's is like I said, it uses the same letters as my granddaughter, just put in a different sequence. I don't even know what the correct spelling for Kylie is. Stitching, are you coming up? Good. Anyone should tape themselves talking and see how hard it is not to say things unintentionally or wrong. I used to despise listening to myself. Now it don't bother me so much. Stitching. You got about 3 seconds, girl. And we ain't talking about Gabby Petito. I'm sorry. No. Hey, lady.
I was on my way.
All right. We ain't talking about no Gabby Petito. Y'all have to forgive me, okay? Forgive me for this, please. Overlook this. But there are certain names that have they grit on my nerves. And that's
Oh God.
Gabby Petito and her boyfriend. And Lori Vallow. Oh, that. And there's another one. I forget what his name is. The one that did away with his wife. And it took like a year.
Chris Watts.
No, not him. No, Lord, I had to go 6 months listening to everything Chris Watts. My son got hung up on that.
Oh, I'm still hung up on Chris Watts, so we aren't going to go
Yeah.
there.
No. That one's fine. I can talk about that case.
Oh,
Dude that did away with his wife in the desert or whatever it was, and they couldn't find her.
the one in Colorado that killed his wife. She went for a ride, supposedly.
Yeah. But now I'll tell you a case that I'm hung up on right now, and that's the Murdaugh murders. Oh my Lord. They did a study. There's a YouTube channel that has been doing a study, and like for the last 5 years up until his wife and son was murdered, everybody in that town that was done away with, that died in whatever, this man had a connection to. Y'all got to find that channel and check it out. I'm telling you, everything, all the people that died in that town leads back to him.
Are you talking about the one? I can't remember now the name of it, but there's been like several deaths and everything leads back to that one guy.
In South Carolina, yeah. The Murdaugh murders. Yeah.
Okay.
Y'all got to check that out. If you ain't already.
Well, I know you don't like mentioning, creators, but Arctic gave me a case about a guy who, well before Chris Watts, his family was known as a family annihilator. He killed his whole family and his mother.
Yeah.
Because he lost his job.
You got to watch what you're saying, honey.
Oops.
But yeah, just, like K for that or R for the other, or, I don't mind naming other creators on my channel. I don't mind that.
Well, I know a lot of people are against it, so I don't know, how each platform's set up. So just try to.
I heard about another channel that refuses to allow, you can't even mention another channel on their channel because it takes away from them. No, that's what YouTube is for, is to share. It's called, there's a name for it. I can't think of what it is. But I mean, it's the same in restaurants or department stores or whatever. If you can't find what you're looking for on this channel, you should recommend another channel. Because it's good customer service, plain and simple.
Oh, it's just like, I mean, I sent out everyone a copy of what Dazed did on my stuff about my life. And it would, a lot of my family members have been like, wow, I didn't realize that. It's like, yep, and I'm still here.
Oh, I didn't know here.
Oh, yeah. I did an interview with her about a month ago now. Because we tried it in July, and it caused me a setback on my PTSD and my battered wife syndrome and stuff. So we had to go back. Yes.
I'll have to go and watch that.
Yes, most definitely. I mean, not mine, but you can go watch the others. Yeah. You hear mine, you might call me and go, "Are you actually okay?" Yeah. Because, like I said, my family just, their chin fell on his floor, and they're like, "You're willing to put that out?" I was like, if I put it out now, once my channel grows and becomes successful, I don't have to worry about it coming back on me.
Right. That's what I've said. John Davis was on my channel one day, and we were talking about my many arrests that I've had in my life. And he's like, "Oh, I got some crap on you now." And I'm like, "No, you ain't got no crap on me, because I don't care to tell people. If I tell it, ain't nobody can bring it back on me."
Exactly. If I let it out, who's going to come back on me?
Right. And as far as mentioning other channels, the only thing I don't do is I won't bash another channel. I don't allow anybody to say anything bad about other channels on my channel. And if I don't like them, I just say I'm not a big fan of them. But I won't allow nobody to say anything bad. But you can mention other channels all day long on my channel. I don't mind.
Okay. Well, like I said, I didn't know, because I know there's some channels out there that if you mention another channel, you automatically get slammed to
Booted.
the wall.
Yeah. Which is
Well, it's like one of my favorites. Her she told me to go ahead and post my Cash App because me and her had been talking about some of the things that were going on, and my puppy was not doing too well at the time. She told me to post my Cash App in her chat. So I was sitting there, I was posting it like she told me to. And when her subs, oh, you can't do that. She goes, don't tell her she can't do that. I've already given her permission.
Well, honey, I don't post my Cash App because it never does no good. Nobody
Joke.
Nobody donates money to me. I guess, and the only thing that I've talked to a couple of people about it. The only thing we can figure is I don't cause drama on my channel. And maybe that's why people don't like to give me money. I don't know. I don't sit around and boo-hoo. And I wouldn't mean anything. I'm talking about like there's another channel that gets money hand over fist to them because they have a boo-hoo story that they repeatedly keep telling. And do you know who I'm talking about? Stitching.
Yes.
Do you know who I'm talking about?
I for a minute, it took me a minute there, and I went, oh, seriously. I think part of the reason why that keeps getting brought up, though, is because people keep throwing it in their face. You know what I mean? And, of course, they have to go on their show and say, this is what's going on, yada, yada, yada. And, I mean, that channel is what got me to come up and speak about my story, being honest with you. Yes.
Look in the back chat. Is that who you're talking about?
Yep, that's what I'm talking about.
Well, it's one thing to come out and talk about your story and tell what happened. That's fine. And it helps other people recover, blah, blah, blah. But after it's out there, I think then it needs to be, if you need counseling or group therapy or whatever, then create a group to do that in, but do it privately. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But yeah, I mean, yeah, I don't, not like Lana's channel where you go on and tell your story on Lana's channel. I think it is a good thing for other people to know that other people are going through or have went through the same kind of thing.
And I will agree 100%. But it's kind of like whenever they heard my story, they reached back out to me and told me, oh my God. I was like, and if it wasn't for you guys, I would have never told mine.
Right.
If it wasn't for them, I would have never have had the courage to get up there and tell anybody anything in my past.
Well.
And you see, I started off on my Facebook channel telling it. And everyone's like, actually, Arctic told me, he goes, you need to get up and go on to Days. He goes, because this is something that, she deals with a lot of. And I think it'll help other people out there. And I'm just, the one question that still bothers me was the question they asked me, do you remember any happy times? I was like, yeah, I remember a lot of happy times with my dad. I mean, my most recent, before he passed in 2007, was me taking him fishing. That was something that man loved. And if I could have figured out a way to go out there and chase dogs, I would have taken coon hunting too.
Right.
That's just the things that my daddy loved. And I couldn't figure it out. I couldn't get my cousin to come and get him and take him because he's like, oh, it's going to be too much work. I'll go with you.
Right.
I'll go with you, whatever it takes.
Discovering truth, honey. I wasn't asking for anybody to donate. I wasn't. That's the point. I don't ask. I don't do that. I was just saying that there are other channels out there that I just don't. I don't get it. And if it means that I have to be somebody that I'm not to get people to donate to this channel, then I'll just do what I've been doing, because I'm not going to do that. I'm not going to have drama and fighting. I'm not going to start trouble with other channels just to get that done. That's not what I'm here for. I'm here for the kids and for for viewers and subscribers who want to get on here and talk. Right, Stitching?
Yes, ma'am.
And I it's not that I dislike, that person you said that directed you to my channel.
Uh-huh.
It's not that I dislike the person. And I do thank him if it's just you that came here from his channel. I thank him for that. But I don't want trouble. That's all it is. I don't want drama. And
I get it.
From what I understand, that's all that comes from that direction, if you know what I mean.
Well, that direction apologized to one of the people he started stuff with.
Huh?
That one person has apologized to some of the people he started stuff with.
Really?
I don't know if you know that. Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. He actually went on one of their YouTubes and did a live with them.
No,
he was apologizing. Oh, yeah.
Hello, Lana. How are you this morning, sweetheart?
Good morning, beautiful.
Oh, thank you, Discovering. She says, I know, Nana, you're the only one that don't ask, but you're the one that deserves it the most. Oh. Mary, I thought you were leaving. Did I say goodbye, Mary, for no reason, or that I love you? Anyways, but no, I mean, if you will call me sometime, well, you can't call though, can you?
I can do Facebook.
Okay. Well, I've got to get some stuff done here in a little bit, but after a while, if you get a hold of me, we'll see if we can't dig up some information on those names that you gave me and see if we can't get a video out on those.
Oh, yeah, I'll help you with it. I mean, I have nothing that I'm going to lose from it. I mean, just telling you about will help. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And one of them, I'm scared kind of to talk on because my son's still in the county that some of the drama has happened in.
Right.
And people in that county knows he's my son.
Okay. Well, that's fine. Well, I'll tell you what, there's one that I would like for people to dig into, or not dig into, but if you all can find more information on it than I can. Some people have talents, some people have other talents, okay? It's not that I'm asking anybody to do my work for me. There is a case here. I couldn't do a story on it before because my daughter actually worked literally right next to the guy. But there is a story about a man and a woman who did horrible, horrible, horrible things to this little 19-month-old baby. And the guy is still running around 2.5, 3 years later out here in public. And I mean, now he's wearing a track bracelet, but that's it.
Wow. Well, here's one for you.
What?
Okay, let me tell you about a case here in Oklahoma that I know personally, because I know the guy personally. He is sitting there doing back-to-back 20-year sentences for touching his stepdaughter. Now, whenever you say that, first thing everyone thinks of is SA.
Right.
No. His stepdaughter was in a wheelchair and basically had fluid on the brain and was having, constantly had a tube that drained it. Mom was too lazy to do anything. Stepdad would come home from work and the child would be so filthy that he'd have to give her a bath because she hadn't been cleaned, changed all day.
Right.
And that's exactly when they asked him on that polygraph, did you touch her? He answered it, yes, I touched her. Because in his mind frame, it went, I changed her diapers, I give her baths, I touched her.
Right.
So he's doing consecutive sentences because of it. And I'm sitting going, I know that guy very, very well, to the point where I would trust any of my kids around him.
Wow.
So I know him well enough to know that it didn't happen.
Right.
And I'll call you later and explain why on that too.
Okay.
But yeah, I know of cases where first thing you think of when someone says touching is SA. No, some people's mind frames, that could be changing, giving baths, anything.
Right. Exactly. Well, that's just like my brother's daughter was in a car wreck when she was 15. Her brother, and her cousin had went to like a street festival concert in Pigeon Forge, and they were not drinking, nothing like that, I promise. But they were coming home on the back roads, and her cousin fell asleep at the wheel. And when he did, she was already laying down in the back seat. You know, the older cars that had the hump in the middle in
Uh-huh.
the floorboard. Okay, he fell asleep, ran into a tree. She literally, all that happened was she bounced out of the back seat and into the floor, and it broke her back, and she was quadriplegic from then on. But and she had to have home health care come in. But because she was 15, because she was developed, but she wore diapers then. I mean, she couldn't do anything, especially when it first happened. And you have to remember, right after she had this wreck, her mom was already going through, we're talking stage 4 cancer, your uterine cancer,
Oh
and she was
God.
literally dying. And so that's what made her mom pass sooner, was because while Tish was in the hospital, they didn't know if she was going to make it or not from the wreck, because they had to put in a trachea and everything. And her mom refused to take any medication or anything for her cancer. And so, needless to say, within like a month after the wreck, her mom died. So my brother was left to take care of her and her younger sister. And the home health care people were having a problem with him being the one to clean her and take care of her. So I wound up having to go in and help him do it, because they were trying to throw a fit and say it was too improper for him to take care of her. Which, I mean,
Wow.
it wasn't like he was crazy about the thought, anyways, but still,
Yeah,
he wasn't going to give up his kids.
I get it.
It
Like I said,
was
after
horrible.
watching that case go, and now he's doing consecutive 20-year sentences. And my older sister who worked in law enforcement at the time, I asked her, I was like, sis, can you explain why he's having to do this? And she goes, no. She goes, honestly, he should have got slapped on the wrist like the cops do around here and sent about his way. And I was like,
Right.
and that was back in 2005.
Yeah.
Instead, I guess they decided to make him, I don't know, the blunt of the stuff.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Instead of mom getting in trouble for neglecting her child, he gets in trouble for taking care of his kid.
I don't know, hon.
I don't get it anymore.
Yeah, I don't either. I don't see how. And I did search. I searched and searched and had other people searching and come up with nothing as far as, is it, because you would think that it at least is, there's some kind, I don't know, it's not illegal, but you would think there would be something about it. But as far as a father taking a shower with their children or with their daughter, but nowhere in the United States is it illegal or anything against. You can have a 17-year-old daughter showering with her father, and there's nothing wrong with that. Nothing. The law, DHS, nobody can say a damn thing about it.
Also, I told Art in Oklahoma, you can be 5 years old and take care of yourself while your parents are at work as long as you know how to cook.
Really?
Straightforward. That's what CPS has told me more than once here.
In Tennessee, you have to be 12.
As long as you can cook and take care of yourself while your parent is not there, you can.
That's crazy.
That
is
so,
crazy.
I mean, it's straight out. It's nuts. But yeah, I let my son go outside and play, then it becomes a big problem.
Right, exactly.
I don't get it.
Like that one woman did, Molly did that story on. She was a businesswoman. She was allowing her 14-year-old daughter to watch the younger brother. He was 4, and he got out in the yard and was playing, wasn't out there 5 minutes. The girl got him, brought him back in, but somebody called the law. 6 months later, it happened again, except he only had a shirt and his underwear on and was out there for 10 minutes before she realized it. And they were trying to send the mom to prison over it.
Wait a minute here, but yet, and I hate bringing up Monkey's case because, I mean, that's another sad case. But in Monkey's case, mom was outside before she went to work with him and baby sister. And wasn't baby sister just in a diaper?
Yeah. Well, the thing about it is with that little boy that I was just talking about, nothing happened to him. The sister went back out, got him, brought him back in. Nothing happened to this child. He was literally just caught outside twice.
That's just...
And they were trying to send the mom to prison for it.
Mm-mm. And I hate bringing up that case, but once again, look at Monkey's case. Monkey supposedly had been seen more than once going outside, knocking on neighbors' doors.
Right. And I hope every one of those neighbors that he knocked on their door, if all that's true, okay? Yeah. Every one of those neighbors that he supposedly knocked on their door, or every one of those neighbors that saw that baby walking up down that street on their damn cameras, I hope every damn one of them has to freaking take a sleeping pill to be able to sleep at night. How much effort would it have took to take that baby across the street back home to his house?
None.
But nobody could be bothered with it. All they could holler is, "Go back home, Mikey."
Uh-huh.
I'm sorry, that shit pisses me off.
Well, that's just why I said, you're talking about that, but then you got this over here, a dad who obviously can't focus on more than one child. You know what I mean?
Right.
And I don't believe Monkey's family had anything to do with his being gone, or however you want to word it. I have seen more and more leads towards the babysitter on that case, but I'm not pointing fingers. That's allegedly.
I don't know. I still have questions about, well, why would you go and wake up a sleeping 2-year-old before you would go and order a pizza, before you would go outside and smoke a cigarette? And then when he says, I walked outside and didn't see him out there anywhere. Well, wait a minute. I thought you said that he was inside. Why would you walk outside expecting to see him unless he was outside?
Yep.
So that to me is a little suspicious. Good morning, Beverly. Good morning, UK Queen. Good morning to everybody that I've missed. I'm sorry about that. It just, to me, it's ridiculous. The police, and I'll tell you something else that I just found out that I did not know. In one of the worst cases, the worst, in my opinion, and in a lot of people's opinion, one of the worst, horrendous cases that has ever been reported was the Chris Newsom and Shannon Christensen case out of Knoxville that happened in 2007. And I just, because I watched another documentary on it last night. The police, when Shannon's parents first reported her missing, the next morning when she didn't go to work, they told their parents, well, you just have to go and look for them yourself. It's not up to us. And that wound up being one of the worst cases of that type of thing to happen. I mean, this girl was tortured for like 3 days. Clorox. She was harmed in every orifice of her body, if you know what I mean, repeatedly, humans and objects. And then to try to get rid of the DNA, they poured Clorox down and up in every orifice of her body, and then put her in like 5 trash bags and into a trash can, and put plastic bag over the top part and left her there to slowly. This was after she was beaten and kicked in the most sensitive places repeatedly, and then left her for days to pass, while her boyfriend was done the same way, everything except for the Clorox. But then he was taken out to the railroad tracks and pew-pewed once in the neck, pew-pewed once in the back, just to make him suffer. Then pew-pewed in the head, then was put wrapped up in a bedspread, and then set on fire.
Wow.
These were 5 people that did this to this couple.
Wow. Well, that makes me think of the crybaby case.
I've never heard of that.
It's about a girl who had, she was, how do I word this? She was mentally disabled, but like it was kind of like how we think about Candace.
Right.
If something happens at a certain age. Okay, with
Right.
her, it was kind of the same thing. She wound up dating this kid who was younger than her, had a baby with him. They stabbed her, they beat her, they did everything you think of to this poor little girl.
Oh, I had never heard of that. There's another one that's out there that I watched. I forget. And David Cohen, I seen you put that on his Sally's channel yesterday. I hope it's true, honey. I hope the FBI really is looking. But about this baby, I forget the name of the thing, but you can find it. She was like 7 months old, and the real biological dad was in the military, and the mom got with this other creep, and her dad, the mom's dad, and the boyfriend's dad both have passed. And one day they just took it in their head that their ghosts of both their dads was in this child, and it's supposedly they were doing an exorcism on the baby. that was like 43 bite marks on this baby's body. They slung the baby against the wall, the dressers. They took hammers to this baby. It's horrifying. And when the police finally came, and they lied and said, I think they said the dogs did it, but there was a broken boards in the bathroom floor. And when law enforcement showed up, they found the baby down in under the house in those broken boards. And they said
Wow.
they don't really know how it happened, because they had went to check out this other house. They left the baby there, walked over to this other house they were going to move to, and talked to the landlord and stuff at that other house. And when they got back, that's how they found the baby. Yeah, I mean, that you ought to go listen to that one. That's horrible.
Ugh.
Horrible. Makes me think of the tragedy, what? Of the Lillard case as well, except in that case, the baby is the only survivor. Yeah. Boy, you're all up on that Tennessee history, ain't you, Stay Tiger? Lily Lillard case. Lily, I can't say it. But yeah, that happened right over there next to Beach Creek. If I were Candace, I would have bleeding hands still, looking for my daughter today. Only if I knew what happened to Summer would I would do nothing like Candace has. Oh, by the way, Lana, just so you know, I did text that number this morning. I don't know if it's going to do any good, but I said, Candace, hello, my name is, told her my name. Hun, I would really like to speak with you. If you do not want to, I'll wait until talk with Don when he gets out. I have his number. Don gave it to me back in November. Anyway, I hope you call me. I mean you no harm. Ask Amy. I am friends with her as well. Call me anytime. So hopefully she will call. Don't know if it's going to do any good or not, but we can try. Thank you, May May, for all the trigger warnings, sweetheart. Sometimes I don't think. I'm just sitting here talking to friends and it don't click into my mind. Hello, Miss Rockin' Robin. How are you this morning? LL or Little Wing? LL Wing. Shh. Like LL Cool J. Little Wing. Sorry about that. And I really am sorry about yesterday's live, guys. I really was feeling bad, but I also had things. Oh, that's what I was going to tell you guys. I got on to try to figure out what I was going to talk about for sure and do some research and stuff. And who's going on 30 minutes before me? None other than another big channel. And I knew there wasn't going to be nobody in chat. And I just let things get to my head. So, and I was feeling really rotten anyways. Hey Nana, I'm good. I hope you are feeling better. Missed you. I'm sorry, guys. I really am. Robin, have we heard anything? Is there anything that maybe the locals have heard that we haven't, or that hasn't been leaked to the YouTube or whatever? Thank you, Little Wings. I appreciate that. I'm also having problems because Mr. Don B hasn't spoke to me in about a week, and I don't understand what's going on with him again. I know I ain't done nothing. I ain't done no videos on him or nothing. So I don't know what troubles he's having, but he ain't talking to me. You haven't heard a whisper of nothing, huh? Well, I'll tell you what. If I could get a ride over to Rogersville, I sure would go straight in there and go see Don Wells in jail myself. That's how I feel on your channel too, Nana. We're all friends. Y'all are about my only friends since I became recluse. LOL. Hopefully I can get out of this house soon because it's making me crazy. Well, that's what I was thinking too, but now evidently they're shutting East Tennessee down again. I don't know what's going on, but evidently, supposedly, it's running rampant in East Tennessee again. So I guess we're probably going to be getting shut back down. Hey, have you guys heard about what's going on in Seattle? There's 50,000 kids missed. This will be the second or third day in a row they've missed school because over 6,000 teachers have went on strike.
May I ask why they're on strike?
They want more money.
Oh. We went through that here in Oklahoma here a couple of years ago.
Yeah, but still, come on. There's got to be better ways to go about it than to put 50,000 kids out of school.
Well, I mean, how about this? Every single time a child comes into a classroom with a runny nose and it could be COVID, they send them home. And then they send the rest of the kids home that might come in contact with it. And that's just why my baby is being homeschooled, is because, well, how much school is he going to actually get to attend?
Right. Yeah, Robin, I guess you are suffering with the same kind of thing. And I'm assuming, is Rocky Top from here too? I've been meaning to ask. Well, no, Rocky Top. That's here, isn't it? I think Rocky Top, and it pops in my head Rocky Mountains. No, but Rocky Top is here. Everyone's getting the dreaded stuff. Yes.
Ugh. I don't even want to think about it because my husband had a coworker that he had been using a vape pen of while at work who had COVID. And then last Friday, my son was sick. I'm just like, nope.
Right.
Because he's one of those, he gets sick for a day and he's over it.
Yeah. Yeah, I thought so, Rocky Top. Sure, it clicked in my brain. Rocky Top, duh. Let me guess your favorite song. Rocky Top, huh? But yeah, I can't believe we're getting shut down again. They're even telling us we have to wear masks inside and out. Well, anyways, guys. No, you don't like Rocky Top, the song? You're out. What do you mean out? You're like leaving? Nano. I hate those masks too. Didn't wear them half the time when it was required by the government. And I dang sure ain't going to do it now. Has anybody heard any more about the Eliza case? Have you, Stitchin?
No. There was a case I was going to bring up to you to see if you've heard anything about. Now I don't remember where I wrote it down at. Because I brought it up to Arctic. He said he'd look into it and then never got back to hold of me about it.
Well,
Tyson Jones.
Who?
Tyson Jones.
Tyson Jones. Where's he from?
I don't have that written down. All I have is missingkids.org and then the blog and then where is Tyson Jones?
Hang on, let me check real quick.
I think he's from Pennsylvania.
He went missing in September of 2020.
Yes.
Yeah. Abington, Pennsylvania. Oh, he's a cutie.
Mm-hmm. But I get a feeling there's another case like, what was that little girl's name that the dad's now being put in jail? Harmony. There's going to be another Harmony case.
Really? When was he reported missing?
2020? 2020?
At least he was reported missing when he actually went missing, right?
Well, we don't know because isn't that the case where the mom passed away and the dad had passed away and the grandparents can't find him?
Oh, no, hang on. He was just a good-natured little guy, Diane Gardner, Tyson's maternal grandmother. He liked to go to the park. I used to take him to the park. Diane's daughter, Kristen Gardner, had Tyson with her boyfriend, Tyson Jones, or Tyshawn Jones, on August 5th, 2013 in Abington, Pennsylvania. He was just a super happy kid, blah, blah, blah. He had these big eyes. Tyson has 2 older siblings and lots of cousins to play with. They love jumping trampoline. On July 2015, Tyson's father passed away. About 2 years later, Diane says Christy and Tyson moved out of her house and went to live with a friend. No, this is more like the Casey Anthony case. There's not a lot to know about what took place on May 2017 and September 2020 when Tyson was reported missing. Oh, wow. So he was missing for years.
Well, we don't know
No, it
because
says law enforcement and Tyson's family had to work on putting together a timeline that went back years to the last time any of them physically saw Tyson. Investigators settled on early May 2017. Nobody knows what happened, and two families are heartbroken.
but when the mother passed away in early September, the entire family said, "Where is Tyson?"
It's not saying anything about his mom dying.
If you read down, where are you at? Are you on the same one I'm on? Probably.
Tyson is biracial with black hair, brown eyes. When he was last seen, he was 3 foot tall and weighed 35 pounds. According to his grandmother, Tyson may have visible issues in his teeth, and you may notice that he blinks frequently. Then he's got I forget what it's called. Um, tricks, not tricks. Anyways, this age progression image created for forensic as Tyson might look like at the age of 7. Um,
Um, I sent you something in back chat.
okay, hang on. There's not a lot known about what took place between May 2000. Yeah, when Tyson was reported missing during that time, Diane says Christy communicated with her through text and online chats explaining that Tyson was one place or the other. But when Christy passed away in early September, the entire family said, "Where's Tyson?" Oh, wow. Yeah, we'll definitely dig into that one.
Yeah, I've even asked Robert, "Hey, we need to look into this one because this one just something don't sound right."
You think? Something don't
Something don't
sound
sound
right. You sound a little country right there, honey. Something don't sound right.
right. Hey, being a truck driver, you think it'd be interesting how often how I'd sound.
Dialect. Yeah,
Yeah,
your
my
dialect.
dialect would change quick. And since I've been back here in Oklahoma, it has gotten very, very country, I guess.
Really? David Cohen says now they're taking school pictures at the start of the school year and after. You know why one goes to Facebook and the other goes to FBI? Really?
Huh. That's a good thing, though, I guess.
Yeah. Karen says she's got something on Gary. I have some info about why Gary Simpson's case may be sealed, along with a lot of other amazing info.
Stop.
Want me to have leave in comments here when you're done? No, don't leave it in the comments because someone will take it away. Um, if I give you my email, can you just email it to me, Karen? Bad guys choose the kids from those yearbooks. Let me give you my email, Karen. Please send that info to me because I would love to know why his case is sealed. Yeah, I looked him up on one of those, check their background or whatever, and pretty much everything about Gary Simpson it's not on the internet, period. Last year you paid $20 and this year it's going to be 96. Wow. Thank you, Robin. Oh, wow. Anyways, what I was going to say a while ago, somebody had said that they had it 3 times, the dreaded sickness. And poor Miss Tina, the minister that comes in and talks to us and stuff and preaches for us. And basically a sister to me. She's had it 4 times, and now she's got some other kind of flu-like something, and she can't even talk now. So everybody, please say a prayer for her. I need her talking. Trust me. Anyways, guys. All right. It's been 2 hours and 35 minutes. So I think I'm going to jump off here and try to get done what I've got to get done today, guys. And thank you all for showing up. I know it was just a pop-up, and I know I was complaining a lot, but I just had to vent. Your 1-year-old just got over it. Right. My son-in-law just got over it too. What?
I know 2 newborns who have had it this year so far.
What, that dreaded stuff or this new thing that's going around?
The dreaded stuff. What's the new thing going around? God.
It's supposedly they tell my son-in-law it's just bronchitis. But literally, I mean, he was in bed for a week and a half before he went to the doctor and couldn't move. He hurt all over. He was, just running a high fever. And he finally went to the doctor. The very day he went to the doctor, he came home and wound up with laryngitis. Tina's, her 2 kids was sick, and then she wound up getting sick with it. Now she has laryngitis. It's just some type of a flu thing that's going around. And everybody's testing for the dreaded word, but nobody's testing positive for it.
Well, see, my husband's cousin, they kept testing negative for it. And I mean, they were sick, right?
Yeah.
Finally, they tested positive right before. I mean, the cousin was ready to go to the hospital and stay at the hospital. That's where he was put me in a room type thing at that point. They tested him one more time and said, "Oh, you have COVID. Let's give you the meds."
Don't say that dreaded word, honey.
Well, that dreaded word has done so much to me that it doesn't. I don't think it'd do anything else.
No, I'm saying, but YouTube don't allow it.
Oh, really? Why?
Yes.
May I ask why?
It's a false information. You're spreading false information.
Wow.
We found that out through Don B, because when Don B actually had gotten it, and he was literally reading off the CDC pamphlet about it and about getting the inoculation for it. And they said, nope, you're spreading false information. You can't do that. And he was literally reading off the CDC paper.
Quiet for a minute, please. I'm on a live. Be quiet for a minute.
Thank you, Tiger. I will, sweetheart. You have a great day too. Yeah, see, G says they had a viral infection and they were out of action for weeks.
Dang. Luckily for me, the only thing I've had is that dreaded word one time, and it was last September.
Well, I credit the good Lord above with everything in me. I credit him. I have not had it one time, not once.
And I told my husband, it's the same scenario as this time, just in case we do catch that dreaded word.
Yeah.
He's the one working, not me.
Right. Who is Dylan Groves, G? Have you heard of them stitching?
Mm-mm.
Dylan Groves or Dylan Graves? Groves, I think is what it says.
It says Groves. I don't know. Just a second.
Days did a tribute to Summer. Oh, wow. When did this happen? It's a baby boy who was unalived by his parents. Thank you, May May. I wish somebody would teach me where that thumbs up button is at, because I've looked in my emojis and I cannot find it. I can find every other one, but I cannot find a thumbs up.
I guess I'm gonna have to go ahead and jump off here. My kiddo has finally woke up.
Okay, hon. You have a great day, and thank you for jumping up here, sweetheart.
All right, I'm setting a back chat where I found my thumbs up at. I put like all the other ones with the hand emojis, so that way you can see kind of where it's at.
Thank you, sweetheart. I appreciate it.
You're welcome.
Have a great day, hon.
Yeah.
Huh. Well, okay. Well, if I can get this. Ha ha ha. It's okay if I can't find it. I just copied that one. Okay. Anyways, guys, I'm going to jump off here now. And thank you guys for coming. I appreciate you greatly. I appreciate you all just listening to me complain. I agree 100%, Robin. We all need to pray for the LE all around the country. They cannot seem to get anything right. Montgomery County. Okay. Love and prayers to everybody, guys. I left the toilet seat up again. Damn, don't know why she's so mad for we got like 8 bathrooms. Geez, you got 8 bathrooms? How big is your house, David? I'm waiting on an answer for that one. You piqued my interest. 8 bathrooms. Do you live in a mansion? And it's probably you left the seat up in the one that she goes into. 4,200 square feet. I think that's a pretty big house, ain't it? Oh, the dog drank from the toilet. That blue stuff and hurt dog. Oh, well, yeah, that would upset me also. Big farmhouse. Oh, I bet you it's beautiful. But still, 8 bathrooms. Wow. You live in Tennessee? Yeah, that's sort of like all the old people used to say about the TV channels. Why do you need more than 3 TV channels? You can only watch one at a time anyways. You can only use one toilet at a time anyways. I was wondering what that blue stuff on the carpet was. Wow. Still 8 bathrooms. Jeez. Let's see. You live in a farmhouse and it's huge enough to have 8 bathrooms in it. I want to come live with you and your wife. Yeah, you better have it cleaned. That stuff won't come up if you don't. It'll stain the carpet. You ought to have your wife start getting the purple kind. It's a lavender color, real light lavender. It's pretty. Does the same thing, but it's just made by different companies, so therefore it's not blue. It's a pretty lavender. Mr. Clean Magic Eraser will take it up, David. Miss Robin says, you better go get you some magic erasers. All right, everybody. I love you guys. I'm not sure when I'll be you're a clean freak. I love magic erasers too. Yeah, there you go, Rocky Top. Ask him. Dang, David, what you growing? I would love to live in a farmhouse. I'm afraid if I don't find a house soon, the new landlord's gonna have to bulldoze us over with the house. LOL. That sounds like me, except I'm not getting bulldozed over. But if I don't find a house soon, I'm gonna go stark raving mad. You had to buy the house from your ex-wife. Wouldn't leave the last one. Wasn't that odd to move a new woman in to where your ex-wife used to live? Just asking out of curiosity, because I was in that situation a few years back. The guy had an ex-wife. The house was set up the way she set it up, and he expected me to try to make it my home, but yet didn't want nothing to change. Needless to say, me and him aren't together anymore. A woman can't take another woman's house and make a home out of it. Oh, it's a new house. She's in the old one. Okay. I started to say. Bye-bye, Carrie. I got to go, guys. I've got to take my puppy out and let her go potty. She's having a fit here, ain't you? Can you say hello? No, say hello. Say hello. Say hello to everybody on live. Say hello. Say hello. There you go. Good girl. Say hello again. Say hello again. Hello. Yes, hello. Biscuit says hello, everybody. Y'all have a great day. I'll talk to y'all later. God bless. Yep.